Having focus is imperative when being successful on the court. But with a world of so many distractions, how are we supposed to maintain our focus? Hi, my name is William Lowe, and I'm the founder of Strive Basketball. If these videos are leaving you with value, then make sure you're hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. Today, we're going to take you through 3 ways where you can upgrade your mental focus and be successful on the court. Let's get going. Now, in order to get maximum value from us, make sure you go and join our online community at SKOOL.com. Our online community is a great group of players and coaches supporting each other to reach whatever goal that they have. So the first way to build better focus on the court is by lessening your social media use. Social media is a double-edged sword where it could be a gift, but at the same time, if you don't watch out, it can definitely control you. The next thing that social media teaches you, which is not beneficial on the court, is instant gratification. Anytime that I'm bored or my dopamine is low, just pick up the screen and it makes me feel better instantly. However, in order to be a better basketball player, in order to reach your goals, it's not like that. It's not instant. It's not microwave. You're gonna have to go through blood, sweat, and tears. You're gonna have to go through physical and emotional pain, and it's gonna take time. This thing teaches you that you can have whatever you want in an instant. And in that perspective, it is not beneficial for you when it comes to development on the court. The next thing is that anytime that you're doing a deep work task, something that requires you to be cognitively there 100%. And all of a sudden you might get a little bored, you might get a little bit confused about what you're doing. You pick up the phone and you scroll through Instagram, you go through YouTube, and it gives you a hit of that dopamine again. The problem is when you go back to that original task, which is more important, all of a sudden there's some residue left over on that screen that is not allowing you to fully be back in that task. So fight through the boredom. Fight through the pain, fight through that in order for you to develop good mental fortitude, because boredom kills just as many dreams as pain does. So here's my challenge for you guys. Find one day, 24 hours, where you don't use any kind of social media that would not be beneficial to you. So if you need to keep your notifications on because either your parents are looking for you or your wife is looking for you, please do that. But Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, one day, make a pact with yourself. You're not gonna use it that day. After 24 hours, you'll notice something that is very interesting. Going back to those platforms, you'll notice that you really haven't missed anything that is very, very important. Secondly, ask yourself, is keeping up with your friends' lives more important than being focused on the court? Once you're able to go through those 24 hours, guys, your confidence will get higher because now you are not being controlled by a machine, but you're taking control back of your own mind. Now, focus tip number 2 is to not be afraid to ask the dumb question. I don't care if it's on the court, or it's in the classroom, or it's at work. Everybody doesn't want to be judged. We're all afraid of that, right? But you have to understand one thing, that true stupidity is being afraid to ask the question in order to make you smarter. Now, we don't want people in the classroom to laugh at us when we ask an easy question, just like we don't want people to judge us when we have a bad shooting game. But when you put that down and you dare to ask that obvious question, or you let it fly without any hesitation, 2 things are gonna happen. Number 1, people may laugh at you, but the more you ask these questions, the smarter you're gonna get. And these insults are just gonna bounce off of you. You're really not gonna care. And you're gonna realize that these people who laugh at you and insult you are actually lower than you, because really nobody who is much, much better than you has the time to ridicule you because they have better things to do. Then the second thing that's going to happen, that's probably even more important, is that when you raise your hand to ask that silly question, you're gonna realize that there's another 3 people in the room that also don't know it, but were too afraid to ask. But you had the courage to do that, that gives you confidence, okay? The same fear that we have of being judged in the classroom is the same fear that we have on the basketball court. But I'm gonna repeat myself one more time. True stupidity is being afraid to ask the obvious so you don't get smarter. So ask the dumb question. The last point, guys, is meditation or visualization before the game. But I'm gonna give you a little bit of a twist that probably nobody has ever taught you. So when sitting in the locker room, on the bus, before the game, I want you to be able to think about what kind of person, what kind of music do you need to be listening to? Do you need to be listening to music? Are you a naturally energetic guy who needs to calm down in order to slow the game down? Are you kind of a mellow person who needs to kind of get a rev up? That determines on what kind of music you listen to, if you want to listen to music. The next thing is, when you put yourself in your mind on the court, it needs to be vivid. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? Can you feel the sweat dripping down you? Can you feel your feet on the floor? Can you feel the tingles of a little bit of nervousness? Can you hear the crowd? These are all things that we want to create in our mind in order to create the most realistic situation possible. Because the subconscious does not know the difference between what's real and not real. That's the secret. Being able to constantly put yourself in these situations is very beneficial. But the biggest point I want to make is most people will tell you that when it comes to meditation or visualization, you want to create what you want on the court, which is 80% right. But what they don't teach you is we also want to create adversity in our visualization and meditation, and then be able to see ourselves come back from that situation. Maybe the ball was stolen from you, went down the other end, dunked, the crowd is cheering, the crowd is booing you. What was that? Like, you see all of this. Maybe you threw away a bad pass. Maybe you got crossed up. No matter what it was, how are you going to bounce back from that situation? Because these things will happen. A lot of people teach visualization in the sense that we just want to think about what's gonna happen. I would challenge you to do both. I would challenge you that you're at the free throw line. The game is on line. You took 2 shots, you missed them both. Right? The team goes the other end and scores. Now it's on you to hit the last shot. Those situations are gonna create very, very real situations for you on the court to get you fully prepared. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Having mental focus is one of the most important things on the court. It really is the most important thing because without it, nothing else matters. You've got to be able to focus, and for 40 minutes, you've got to be able to be dialed in with clarity. Now, these 3 things are very important, but you need to be doing them on a daily basis in order to see the biggest results in your game, which can happen with just a month of work and consistency. I really hope that this video brought you a lot of value. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. If you're not already part of our online group at SKOOL.com, make sure you join us. We would love to have you to continue these kind of discussions.